In this video, we will focus on the default output that we've got on the screen, and we will look at some of the features that are presented to us immediately the queries run. Now, as you might notice, I've actually gone and changed my desktop. It's using a Windows XP machine now instead of a Windows 7 due to good old technical difficulties. But not to worry, everything works exactly the same. So first of all, let's focus on this table display that we're seeing. The query or report looks very, very basic. We've just got two columns of data. We've got the organizational unit and we've got a column for number of employees. Well, that's not all there is to this report. And what we'll do is, first of all, I'll show you these buttons up here. We have a chart button, and what that will do is convert this table into a chart. Now, as we look at it, we've already seen there's over 1,000 records. So I'm going to filter it down a little bit. I'm going to go to this filter button, and it opens up and shows these extra columns in Excel. And I'm just going to filter the data so that we can then have a look at the chart. I won't explain exactly what's going on because we will cover that in another video. So all I'm going to do is select a filter value on organizational unit. I'm just going to select a couple of values from my history list. And now you can see the report has been filtered. So now I will demonstrate this chart button. It's a very basic chart in functionality, but if you want to get a quick visual picture of the data, then it's ideal. All we do, click the chart button, and you can see it's converted our data into a chart. If I zoom out a little bit. Pretty basic, but you know, it's all good stuff. Got a nice bar chart, and because it's Excel, you can then format this to whatever you like. So let me zoom back in here, and I'll go back to the table view. Okay, so now on to the filters button. So what we have here, these are called free characteristics. It's a filters area, but any fields that don't belong in the body of our report over here are called free characteristics. Every field in BW, every field that we can report on is either a characteristic or a key figure. If it's a numeric value that we can measure by, it's a key figure. If it's something that we want to drill down on, we call it a characteristic. Now, I call these free characteristics because they're not added to the report just yet. But we are free to add them in anytime we like. And all it means is I can choose any one of these. I can do a drag and drop. I can right click and choose drill down or drill across. Lots of good stuff. Next along, we have information. Oh, and don't worry, I'm going to come back to all this. We will cover it. But just the basic buttons that we see, first of all, we have this information button. And when I click this, we get displayed some rows of data in our Excel report that gives us some technical and descriptive information about the report itself. So we can see here who actually created the report, the current user, the last person to change the report. So there's lots of information. It tells us the info provider that's holding the data. It tells us the query technical name, the description, and then you can see more specific data about the, or more specific information about the actual data over here on the right. We have the last date the data was refreshed, the key date for the query, which we will come on to later, and some other dates and times. So that's information about this report that is very useful if ever you need to contact your support center. They may ask you for the technical name of the query or the description, or ask you to look at the last time data was refreshed. And this is very useful, this piece, because let's say your data gets refreshed once a day, maybe over the night. then you'll come in the next day, run your report, and hold on, it doesn't seem to have changed since yesterday. If you just check these dates over here, the last date it was refreshed, and make sure the data was refreshed, then you know that there's something else wrong. Maybe you have to investigate the data in the backend SAP system. If it hasn't been refreshed, then you know it's actually a data load issue, and you probably need to contact your support center and say, hey, why wasn't the data refreshed? So that's the basic view that we get when we run our query. It all looks super simple, and it is simple. You know, we do have the status of the data up here. We get a heading, but all this we can customize as well. We can change the colors, change the layout, the whole format of the thing to make it look how you want it. You know, add your own logos and corporate colors. But that's about it for this video. In the next one, we're going to have a look at some of the specific functions of the Bex Analyzer toolbar.